Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Booksplosion live show. Today, we're going to be talking about Grim Lovelies by Megan Shepard, and we worked with HMH Team this month. I'm Jesse.
I'm Christine.
I'm Kat.
And we're taking questions on Twitter using the hashtag Loveliesplosion.
You should ask us questions about this book.
Yes, you should. Jesse, what is this book about?
Grim Lovelies is basically about these creatures named... What are they called again? Beasties. Beasties. And they are created basically by these witches turning animals into human forms, essentially, right?
Yeah. And they're not very old, the ones we know at least, which is really interesting.
The main character of this book, she's like in the body of a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, but she's only been alive as a human for a year.
Like a year and a half or something. When she was like, I'm a year and a half year old, but I look like I'm 17. I was like, what?
Yeah, and at the start of the book, she has never left this house. She is the servant to the witch who enchanted her, and she's just been like on house arrest pretty much her entire life. And then the witch that enchanted her and a couple other animals into humans, her other servants, there's 5 total. Then the witch dies, and her enchantments are going to disappear, evaporate within 3 days. So all the beasties who are also blamed for the murder, everyone is hunting them and they're like, what's going on? And they only have 3 days to figure out how to stay human.
Nice.
That was a very good description.
I just read this and filmed a reading vlog where I talked about it endlessly. So I have my pitch down now.
Yeah, I was like, I just read it too, but that didn't come out of my mouth.
All my editing, all the talking about it. So
I was like, she was like 6'10".
Again, we're going to be taking your questions over on Twitter using the hashtag Loveliesplosion. But first off, let's share our thoughts. Who wants to share non-spoilery thoughts on this book, how you felt about it and stuff?
Kat, do you want to start? Because I'm just grabbing the questions.
Sure. So I really enjoyed this. The beginning, it was a little bit slow and hard to get into because I didn't really connect to the main character because she is so innocent and kind of passive. But as the story progressed, I started liking her a lot more as she became more active. And also, I just loved the world. I really enjoy urban fantasy, and this book reminded me of why I enjoy urban fantasy so much. The adventure of visiting these different factions of the magical beings, and I really liked the magic system in this.
Yeah.
And also the way it ended, I'm really excited for the next book and to see what direction this trilogy is going to go in overall.
Yeah,
definitely.
Honestly, my favorite part of this was the magic system and the hierarchy. It was so cool. I really like the life for life. Magic takes life, and the way it takes life is so unyielding and unforgiving. It's really dangerous, and it really has consequences. So when they don't want to deal with those consequences, they won't use magic at all, which is really limits and grounds the world in a way, which is nice. And I just thought it was really interesting how the goblins and the beasties all are very humanoid, and the witches, they're all have little tiny differences, but they're all very humanoid. So at a glance, you won't know if someone is a beastie. Yeah. I don't even know how to tell if someone's a beastie.
Is there a distinction?
Human. The witches just know because they can sense the magic or something.
Yeah, probably. You know what else you guys didn't point out?
Yeah.
But I loved just the Paris backdrop. I was a really big fan of that throughout the story. That was nice. What are you?
Yeah, there's also a heist section in this, and that was probably my favorite part because I was like, I didn't know we're going on a heist. It was really fun.
Yes. Awesome. Is that all our non-spoilery
That
thoughts?
elevator really scared me.
The elevator?
Oh, yeah, I guess those are our non-spoiler thoughts, so I shouldn't go into any more detail.
No. Let's stop it there. We're now going to be jumping into a spoilery section, so if you have not read this book, you should read it, and then come back and watch this live show. All right.
Yes, yes.
So let's jump into the spoilery section.
Okay.
I do have one point that I want to make just right off the bat.
Yeah.
When what's her name?
Victoria.
When she died, why did they run?
I know. Well,
Why did they run?
Assumed that they were going to be blamed, and I think also Bo knew that Luke did it.
Yeah.
She was like, "We have to run because he's one of us."
That's true.
And also, they were ready to run. Like, you know, they were her servants for so long. Like, they're like, we have an opportunity to leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they did initially run, they didn't have much of a plan. It was like, let's go. And especially the part where like Anouk didn't even change her clothes and they had to like go shopping.
I know.
I was actually kind of laughing during that scene
because
she's like the shorts or the
shopping
worker
lady,
was like helping her and she's like, oh, it's not my blood. I'm like that makes it better that you have blood on you that's not your blood.
I know. But like I like how she was so like, it's fine, we get this all the time.
I like how when she was going to the store, there's like a jogger walking down the street and like the jogger just turns around and goes in the other direction.
Yes. How did you guys feel about like Anouk in general? Because like sometimes I found her like reading about her to be a little bit frustrating because like the world is so new to her that it was just like, I don't know, it's just kind of aggravating reading about like.
Yeah, I like when she like took charge and stuff.
Yeah. I
feel like she felt really middle grady when she was just talking about like her relationships, at least. Like everything with Bo and her, I wasn't a huge fan of, but I really liked like her doing magic and taking charge in that way. And I liked her in Cricket. I loved Cricket.
Yeah.
She was my favorite. Yeah.
I kind of wanted Anouk and Cricket to be together.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like weirdly shook.
I just did not feel Bo with her at all. Yeah.
I don't really feel Bo with her either. I don't know. The romance was interesting in this because like for a while I thought she might end up with like Prince Renard. Like it seemed.
Yeah. I thought something was. I mean, maybe the next book.
I was like rooting for like kind of in a dark way. I was like, go with him. Like, oh, let's see where this goes. Like
I could feel it being like an Akatar, Akamath type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like it if it went in that direction.
Yeah.
But I don't think the thing with Bo and her is gonna work. Especially because like after they were like together, he like cheated on her with and like
so weird.
That was so uncomfortable.
Like why? It was like a second ago. They were together.
I like they're all so young and so new.
Yeah, it's all very like high school because they're like very young and like.
I think that's why she like even started anything with Bo. It's just because like he was like the first guy there. I don't think they're end game.
Yeah. It's like everything for her is so fresh and new, and it's like so like in a way like very preteen the way that she looks at it. Yeah,
definitely.
She was like, we're gonna wake up forever, and like in that, what is the other French lady Lavender. Yeah. The Lavender Witch's house and like look outside and paint and like be in love. I was like, Anouk, sit down.
That also reminded me, it kind of drove me crazy that they were just like kind of taking their time to find another witch to like cast the spell.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
claim ownership. I was like, let's go, guys. Time is running out.
And they were just dancing. I was like, what's going on?
We need to get with it.
And he's just like, oh, we're going to almost kill you and it'll freeze time. And it's like, this doesn't sound like a good idea.
Super sketchy.
This is like, why are you here?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm curious about. Do you guys think it was Bo's wish that made her stay human?
So yeah, I was thinking about that too, and I was like, maybe because
I feel like it was how much magic she used or something. Like when she like let out that big explosion of like the 6 pints of blood magic. Like I feel like maybe that had like changed her somehow or something. I don't know. I don't like would Bo throwing a coin in the well and making a wish. Like,
I don't know, unless like it's like you have to throw a coin in the well and the moon is full and and like not just like all.
I want to know like what happened there.
But, like there was that like whole mirroring with like it opens up and she's like, "There's a fountain down the street and I can't see it," and then like, "Oh, the fountain saved my life." What I don't really get though is like the process of becoming a witch. Like all of a sudden she's calling herself a witch, but she's a beastie. So I don't get it. Like, can anyone be a witch? I know humans can be witches, but she wasn't human. She's a beastie. And does that mean that her lifespan isn't as long because she's not actually human, and she kind of grew in non-human years because she's only been alive for a year? Like, what does this mean?
That's an interesting point. I hope the next book is her like trying to pursue being a witch, like kind of how the book ended up like maybe leading in that direction. But those are really interesting questions because like beasties don't have the vitae echo, like they don't have the consequences to magic that witches have. So does she want to be a witch? If she like, she needs to like learn more magic and learn about being a witch to save the other beasties, but she would like have the vitae echo then. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Much to think about there.
Yeah. And like that's what I was wondering too. Like, I don't understand. Like, she did the whole thing that's good about her is that she doesn't have the vitae echo. Why would she want to be called a witch?
Well, because she wants to save the other beasties and like turn them back into humans, and only a witch can do that magic.
So she'd like transform into a complete human?
I don't know.
Yeah. And I wonder what price Madame Victoria paid to turn them into beasties in the first place. Because that's a lot of magic.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. We got some questions.
Got some questions rolling in. What did you think of the magic system?
Well,
we talked about it.
Kind of talking about it. Who's your least favorite character?
Ooh, my least favorite character?
Wow.
Oh.
That's really hard. Maybe like Madame Victoria or something. Like a lot of the characters, even the ones who like aren't that likable, are still interesting. Like I liked them as characters. Like Prince Renard, like he was really interesting.
The Lavender Witch, like I really liked her, and I thought she was gonna be a good witch. And I was just like, I don't understand. Why are you doing this? I don't understand. Like, I just still don't really get it. Like, I know she's in love with Prince Renard, and like she thought they were a threat, but like, did she really? I don't know. Was she just like?
Well, she was going to be granted a queendom.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
there was a lot in it for her.
There's a lot in it for her, but still, like, she was like all hippy dippy a second ago, being so nice, and I was like, yay, I like you. And like Petra, I trusted Petra, and she trusted the Lavender Witch, and I'm just like, well, my judgment was all off on these people.
Well, I know Petra kind of came through in the end.
Yeah, she did. But like, she still felt this loyalty to Lavender Witch.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the same how Vigo felt toward Madame.
Oh, yeah. How do you say Vigo?
Is it Vigo? Is it Vigio? What is it?
I don't know. I
just
never said it out loud. Vigo.
Yeah. I wish there was an audiobook.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
I would have loved that too, because with like all the French words and like the Paris influences, I think it would have been great to listen to.
Would have been helpful.
Yep.
I think like the witch's boy, the witch's girl, like I think they just have like a loyalty to.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like a mother figure, you know, the witches steal these children when they're babies and like raise them.
That's also another really interesting aspect of it. It's kind of like a changeling, like they just take it and like raise them as their own. And like, it's weird. They really like think that they're their mother in a way, but really they're just there to be their blood bag. Like it's not a real mother-daughter relationship if she's just like using her for the blood, then just like spoiling her. It's weird.
I liked that aspect though. I think
it's interesting. I just mean it's like so weird to think about. Like I like just couldn't comprehend Vigo's like, I guess it's just all he's ever known, but like you've been providing blood to this woman your whole life. Like she's a vampire off of you.
That's That's what I was gonna say. I like how it's kind of like almost vampire mythology and vampire lore sprinkled in, even though there's no vampires. Like when Anouk was chugging 6 pints of blood, I was like, oh my god.
Nasty AF. I was like, I cannot listen to you talk about this. I cannot listen to Bingo talking about like giving the blood. I was just like, get out of there. I can't watch this. I can't.
Too much blood.
Yeah, and she was like drinking and she's like, oh, it's like invigorating me. And I'm like, oh, stop.
I liked it. I was living for the vampire vibes.
Of course you were.
Just getting so grossed out. It was like watching Bella drink from that blood cup from the first time. But at that time, I was like, you need it. That vampire, you needs it. This, I was like, oh, you're just drinking it. Let's see. Did you try to guess the beastie? Which beastie belonged to which pelt?
I did try to guess, and I was wrong. I thought Anouk was gonna be the wolf.
Me too.
Oh.
I did too. And I thought that what's his name? Her boyfriend was gonna be the mouse. And then
I don't know what I thought those.
And I thought Grave Digger, Grave Ranger, Grave
Hunter Black.
Hunter Black. Oh my god, what am I saying? I'm tired. I thought Hunter Black was gonna be the dog because he was like loved his owner.
I thought too, yeah, because he seems very like loyal and
loyal, yeah.
There you go.
And like I just thought they were gonna like have more things that like go with their animal. But like it makes sense that Hunter Black is the wolf too.
Yeah.
Like it made sense. It was like an obvious choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't like the mystery, and like I tried to fit Anouk into the wolf position because I was like, she was loyal to Madame Victoria, but if Madame Victoria is like the alpha wolf, then like she of course would be loyal to her.
Yeah.
And she started taking more charge and was like protecting her pack. I was like, I could see her being the wolf.
I thought Luck was gonna be the owl because he like is like wise and makes all these concoctions and always fixes everything for them. I thought he was like their dad.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he wasn't. I was like, he was the mouse.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, what?
It all ended up making sense, but yeah, when we first saw the pelts and like saw what the animals were, like all my guesses were wrong.
Yeah. Except for like the obvious guess, which was Hunter Black. Yeah. I was like, oh, it can't be that now that you said it. It's too easy. Let's see. Who is your favorite character?
I liked Cricket a lot.
I think Cricket was my favorite character.
Yeah, she was my favorite too. Even though she was like very, you know, like she was such a Gryffindor in a way. Like she was just like, let me at him.
Also ended up like not necessarily liking Viggo as a character, but just like the role he played throughout the book. Like I liked how at first he was like antagonistic, and then when he was under the love spell, that was so hilarious.
Yeah, I really liked his art because I like it when he said at the end. He was like, you know, I know what I did was like wrong and I didn't realize it. And like he said something about like we're family and if you need me, like I'm there for you or something. And it was really nice.
He's really growing as a player. A lot of growth in him, and he came to realize that like his obsession over Cricket was wrong. And I like his sort of self-awareness at the end where he's like, I don't even know if I can love anyone, mommy issues and all.
Yeah. I don't know why. I was picturing him as like a balding 50-year-old man and like with blonde hair, just like in the blonde, you know, when like the hair is just on the sides. I was just picturing that. And I was like so confused as to why he liked Cricket at first. Because I was like, he's so old.
I think him as Draco Malfoy.
Like my head was too stuck on this like old man. Like when it was just weird. I was just like, this is weird. And he's now in love with like a love potion with Anouk who's like 1. Like this is strange. But yeah, let's see if there's another question. We have 3 new results. Okay. Did you think that Anouk forgave Beau too easily after he kissed that goblin girl? I think her name was December. It was named December.
I don't necessarily think she forgave him too easily. Like,
It felt like the circumstances were too dire to like focus on something as like trite as kissing somebody in that moment.
And she also kind of understood that like everything was so new to that. Like it's all the first time they're experiencing all this kind of stuff, any relationship drama.
Yep. It's I think it was valid for her to just kind of bypass it the way she did. Like I don't think it's something that she should have dwelled on for too long, because even if she did, she like eventually understand. She'd eventually get there.
It also makes me think too that maybe her feelings for Bo aren't that strong.
Yeah. And like it was like
she loves him as family, and he is. But
even Bo's feelings, he was like, he was like, oh, I'm so hurt. I'm gonna go kiss somebody now. Like,
yeah. Definitely. I mean, and just in general, like their relationship was pretty rushed too. And it was like very much so coming from Bo and not necessarily like right away coming from Anouk too. So
Anouk did like a complete 180 on like, oh, we're such like siblings. We're like, oh, we're such like
we're lovers.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like I think Anouk hadn't even considered him romantically until he was like, he like laid it out exactly to her. He's like, I like you, like the prince likes the princess in the fairy tale. Like, you get it? And then she was like, oh, maybe I do kind of like you too. Like, I do feel like she was more like just going along with it and trying it out rather than like
she was
internally motivated to do that.
I agree.
You want to read that one?
Okay, if you were a witch, what would your moniker, your witch name be?
The Coffee Witch!
The Coffee Witch. Oh my gosh.
The Diet Pepsi Witch.
Diet Pepsi. Diet Coke.
Oh crap! Sorry.
You fail.
I did fail. I'm tired.
Banana Witch. Or the Trident Witch.
Trident Witch.
The Trident Witch? Who's that?
You're holding Trident gum.
Oh. I was like, that's Percy Jackson. Or that's like, what's his name from the Hunger Games? Finnick Odair.
Finnick Odair. Good old Finnick.
I'd like to be the Yoga Witch.
The Yoga Witch?
Yeah.
Can I be the Peculiar Witch?
I guess so. I feel like the Yoga Witch sounds like a sandwich. That sounds good. So.
Yoga Witch.
Cat can be the Carry-On Witch.
What am I?
What'd you say?
The Fashion Witch.
I said Makeup Witch.
Makeup Witch. Yes.
I was like trying to think of like that drink that you usually said that you like, and I can't think of it. Martini, which is what I was gonna say. I was like, that's not right. Margarita.
That gum is really strong.
That's
okay.
I need to speak right now.
What would you guys rather be? Witch, beast, royal, or goblin?
Yeah, I was thinking about this, and I think human.
None of them?
Human. I don't like this Vita Echo thing.
I can deal with that. Then you be a beastie and you don't have to deal with the Vita Echo.
Then you're like 1-year-old in a 17-year-old's body and you have like a short lifespan.
I'm fine with that. I'll stay young forever. Just keep putting me in different bodies.
But no, you don't. You die when you're done.
I don't know exactly how it works. Like, if we put the beasties back into humans, will they be the same humans that they are? Like, is that their human form forever?
Ooh, I don't
have enough information to like know that.
Yeah.
And like, does she choose how old the human like host will be? Like, why is the nuke 17 years old?
I think she's 17 because she was 17 in cat years. I mean, owl years or whatever.
Oh, you think?
That's what I was getting the impression of. But I don't know. Maybe I just made that up.
Like, everyone is around the same age. A mouse couldn't be 17 years old.
Yeah, but no, 17-year-olds in mouse years, which is like.
Oh, okay. I get it. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like a dog equals to our year 7.
That did not even cross my mind.
Like adolescent animals turn into adolescent humans.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. Oh, that might be it. Yeah.
What if you were?
There's still so much that we don't know.
What if you were a fly and they turned you into an adult and you were like dead by the end of the day?
I'd be so sad.
That would be very sad.
I don't even know if you could be a fly. Do flies have pelts? Like, how would you keep the pelt of a fly?
Asking the real questions out here.
I had another actual question and I've forgotten it. I was distracted by this pelt thing.
What kind of beast would you be?
Beast. Okay, so yeah, with the beastie. Oh, you mean like what would your animal be?
Yeah. What were you before you got turned into a human?
I would be a dog. Is that too boring?
That's too boring. I'd be an ostrich.
Cat, what would you be?
I want to be a fox. I was gonna say cat because like I'm kind of standoffish and I love sleeping for.
Because your name.
That's your name.
That's my name. Yeah, a cat would really work, but I would love to be a fox because I really like foxes.
I want to be a manatee.
You can't copy. Oh, okay.
I was like, I've told you guys about my like manatee obsession, right? When I was a kid. Yeah.
Like, why would you also want to be a fox?
You're good. If you get turned back into a beastie when you're out of the water, you will die.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Maybe I won't, but
guess what?
I want to stick to a dog. I want to be a dog.
I lay eggs like dinosaurs.
Eggs
That's ostrich. And I also like burying my head in the ground.
I wonder if beasties can have children. Like if they're a human and they have a human, would it be a beastie or a human?
I think it'd be a
Oh my
human because they
God.
had it when they were human.
But then what if they turn into a beastie again?
I think they would turn into a beastie, but their kid is fully human because they made it with their human parts.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Very interesting.
That would be so weird.
Yeah, like I have so many questions about the world. Like I loved all the little world building details that we got.
Yeah.
But I have so many like, how does this work? I want an encyclopedia about this world.
I really liked how to be a witch, they all go to school and like there's specific teaching and you can't just like do the spells.
Yeah.
You're naturally skilled. That was a nice touch.
And also a lot of the witches don't make it. Like it reminded me a little of Shadowhunter Academy. Like you have to go through like this big deal thing to like become a witch or become a Shadowhunter, and not everyone survives kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we're a new cast to be heading in that direction, right? Like the end of the book really sets us up for like her to go to witch school and like start training properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
interesting.
I don't know how I feel about her name, the Gargoyle Witch. Like, she thought she was being really clever, but I thought that she could think of something way better.
Do you just not like gargoyles?
I hate the name Gargoyle. I think.
Oh my God.
Why? How did you know?
Because that's a very you thing. Like, I don't like gargoyles, so I didn't like that she's a gargoyle.
I didn't.
That was funny.
Like, I feel like she could have been like the owl witch, and it would have been better.
It's obvious because she came from an owl.
Well, what does it matter? It's not like there's power in knowing your pelt. I guess they could find it easier.
Oh, yeah, there could be.
Well, okay, she could be the magic witch.
Wow.
Sounds redundant.
Inventive name.
She could be the Infinity Witch because she has infinity magic. With
Okay.
yeah,
I like that better.
yeah.
than
See, it'll take a
Magic
little bit of
Witch.
brainstorming.
We're not like the Beastie Witch.
Ooh, I would have liked that too.
Maybe, but if she doesn't want people to know she's a beastie, then she
But
won't.
she might not necessarily be the beastie. Like maybe she's like witch who has a lot of beasties.
The Witch Witch.
The witch witch.
Sponsored by Witch
Which?
I like it.
Is that because you like Witch?
I do like it. This is good. Okay, let's see. How many books are there going to be? I don't know.
It's definitely a series.
I think it's 3. I think it said trilogy somewhere on this book.
I feel like in the first Boxman box it said trilogy.
There's definitely a sequel. The sequel, I know the title of it, It's called Midnight Beasties.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought it was called the Gargoyle Witch.
I like that name.
Midnight Beasties.
Yeah, that's a cool name.
Yeah, I think it's a trilogy, but according to Goodreads only has a second book marked as like a second book in the series. But I'm pretty sure it's a trilogy.
Did Mada annoy you in the beginning? Is that Mada Victoria? I mean, yeah, she was just like there.
I wouldn't say annoyed me, but like I knew she was gonna die soon, and like I knew she like wasn't a great person for having like all the beasties captive and how she treated them and stuff.
Yeah, when we heard about what happened with Cricket and her fingertips.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
I can't remember exactly why.
She like burned her fingerprints off because she like stole the book or whatever.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, and then she cut off Anouk's toes, like not
shoes, whatever,
but just so Anouk could fit in her shoes. Like,
I know.
Yeah, at first, like before we learned more about them, I was like, just thinking. I thought that maybe like they turned in and out of the animals more, like, but they're just human. So it's just like it is like legitimately like not like she's mistaking them for pets. Like they're human.
She just like is still treating them like they are pets, and like she
like not even like worse than pets. So you never cut off your pet's toes. Yeah.
She treated Anouk more like a pet. Like she was the nicest to Anouk, which is why Anouk had like more trouble than the others, like seeing her for the evil that she is. But she still did not treat Anouk nicely. And like in the beginning, when even the part where when she was still alive, and she's like, "You get to go outside, my dear. Like, get some shoes on. You're going outside." And it was just to go on the roof to like.
Yeah, she just like. I thought she would maybe apologize like more legitimately, like, "Oh, I didn't realize that I was giving that," but she was just like, "Oh, ha 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 ha! How could you think I'd let you outside?" I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, I actually went back and like reread to see like how she like led up to that, because I was like, wait, like when she was like, "Oh, how did you think that? Like, why would you? Oh, I'm sorry, you misunderstood." But like she did not have any qualification. She was like, "You're going outside, get some shoes." Like she was totally like setting her up just to disappoint her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sad when she died.
I didn't feel anything either.
I didn't read any synopsis stuff, so I didn't know she was going to die so quickly. I was like, "Oh, that's nice." Like, no, so they're gonna leave now. That's good. Sounds good. I do like her jacket, and I want to see it in real life.
I want to know whose jacket it was.
Yeah, she's still.
Like, sounds of it like I thought maybe she was getting like Prince Renner's like jacket.
It is his jacket. Like I think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, the way it was, I can't believe how bold she was to like be like, "We're taking the jacket," and the salesperson's like, "No, you can't," and she's like, "Oh, we're taking it."
I think Bo was also like, "She's taking it."
Yeah. They both were just like, "Bye, we're gonna go now." They don't understand how the world works, so they can't believe
13-year-olds let loose in the world with lots of money.
Yeah.
Like, let's drive and buy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was just gonna say something. I keep losing my trains of thought so easily because I got up so early today, and I'm like so out of it. I think there's something about that elevator. Yeah. Okay. I hated how that elevator only goes one stop, and if you mess up, you're effed. Like, that's so scary. It's so easy to mess up an elevator. And like those ladies, the marble ladies.
Yeah.
Why? I don't think
they were going to turn into a beast.
Yeah, you wasted that pelt.
How dare you? The marble ladies.
The marble ladies scared me too. They're just like marble, but then they weren't. And I really liked the idea of them, but they were scary.
Yeah. Did you guys know that Luke was in the Obulette? I don't know how to say that word.
I thought Luke was dead.
Yeah, I didn't know where he was going to be.
And I was like, Luke has to be dead now, and then he was not because he's suspended in time.
Yeah.
The thing is, they didn't know about this, what the oubliette really was, until after he was in it.
I mean, well, it was mentioned very, very early on. I flipped back to read that part because I was like,
I knew it was like her bag, and I thought her bag magically switched into different bags, but I didn't realize it was like also a time suspension magical place.
Yeah, you could fit a person in.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was bigger on the inside. Like, know what was going on there. But yeah, I thought it was kind of like. Then after we learned that, I was like, is it kind of like a wand for her? Like, or I don't know. It's just a bag.
Was he just like, just chilling in the bag
in
the
like
whole time
the dark?
doing nothing?
Yeah, in the dark without eating.
Yeah, but he was in like a weird suspended state.
Oh, it's like
it was when he found that like astral projection kind of thing, and he was able to kill her. Like he was still stuck in the bag.
Yeah,
he had that jambalaya herb or whatever that like suspended your soul. It wasn't jambalaya, that's food. It was some herb that started with a J.
We'll just assume it's jambalaya.
It was like Jabon. That sounds good, real.
But yeah, I didn't think Luke was dead. I thought that he might be responsible. I didn't know he was in the bag. Like, I was so concerned with like solving the murder and finding Luke that I didn't realize how much Bo was like concerned with the bag. Like when they're first leaving the house, he's like, "We need the oubliette. We need to go get it." And she's like, "We'll get it later. Like, leave it. It's fine." But he's like, "No, we need it." Like, I didn't connect that why he wanted to keep it so close and why he was so protective over it.
I think that he also didn't say like he's in the bag. Like, she was like really worried about him. I was worried about him.
Yeah,
I
should have told her sooner. Like, I understand at the very beginning why you didn't tell her, because she was like still loyal to Madame Victoria, and was like.
I almost think he was jealous of how much she was mentioning, so that's why he didn't tell her. Like, it really came off that way in the beginning when she was like, "I wish Luke was here," and he's like, "Well, he's not," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, I thought she had a crush on Luke, but I guess she just like really older brothered him too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was an interesting dynamic. I liked at the end when they like all came together and they were like, "We're a family and we're together," and Hunter was like really all in with them. And I like when she taught Hunter how to like do the blue spell.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't think Hunter Black is dead.
Oh, I don't think so either.
Okay, yeah, that was one thing. Like, when I was reading it, and especially with Viggo at the end, like when they were talking and they're like, Hunter Black like might still be alive. Like, I think he's still alive.
I think so too. I also think that like that might also be a thing with Prince Renegade. What's his name again? Renard. Why can't I say any names? Okay.
Listen to the audiobook so you don't know the name.
They're not in my head enough. But Prince Renard, like how he might not be as evil as he seems, and maybe he didn't kill him. Yeah.
I don't think he would have killed them. Like, I think he thinks they're too valuable at this point. And also, like, if he were to kill him, then he would lose any chance with a nuke. Like, it's better for him to keep them all alive.
Yeah.
If he wants anything to do with a nuke, which I think that they might be a thing. I don't know.
Because when he first visits, there's like this immediate chemistry you feel between them.
Like way more than she had with Bo.
Way more, yeah. With Bo, I was just like, yeah, he's just like her protective older brother person.
Yeah, I know.
And with him, I was like, ooh, like sexy stranger royal guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like whispers in her ear. So,
and like I feel like he's not completely evil, because he did seem to like really like her innocence and her optimism. Like, he was like, "I like the way you view the world. Like, I need that to like refine my humanity." So yeah, he's definitely, I definitely like him and her, the idea of them together better. And I think he's also just a more interesting and complex character. Like, I want to learn more about him.
Yeah. Okay, we're echoing.
Oh, it's you guys.
Yeah.
No, it's me. I'll refresh.
Okay.
Is it? Okay, I'm afraid to refresh because we were hosting it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So should we talk about what we're gonna read next month?
We should.
We should. Okay.
Next month.
Next.
Excited to be reading. Kat, we're telling them our next book of the month.
Shadow of the Fox! Oh my god, there's the fly. He disappeared.
My beastie.
Come to me, my beastie.
Shadow of the Fox by Julie
Shadow of the
Kagawa.
Fox,
Kat just finished this book.
I just finished this book.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna have to read KOA, which is gonna take me probably up until the end of the month, and then I'm gonna read Shadow of the Fox. But yeah, we're reading Shadow of the Fox, and then we're reading Skyward by Brandon Sanderson in December.
Yeah.
Exciting!
Should we give them a little bit of what they're
What
about?
they're about? Yeah. What's it about, Kat?
I'll talk about Shadow of the Fox.
Yeah.
I just read that. So basically, in this world, it's set in like a historical fantasy Japan kind of world. And every 1,000 years, this great dragon rises, and if you summon the dragon with this scroll, it will grant you a wish. And it's about time for the great dragon to be rising. This book has two main characters. The first is a teenage girl who is half kitsune, which is like a supernatural fox creature. And she's been like raised in this temple by monks to protecting like a piece of the scroll. But then the temple is attacked by demons, and she's like the only survivor, and she makes it away with the scroll. And as she's like escaping, she runs into our other main character, who is this teenage boy who's like kind of a samurai, but like a dark assassin version of a samurai. Like he wields a sword that is possessed by a demon, and he kills demons, and they end up, he's after the scroll. And he doesn't know that she has it, but he thinks that she can like lead him to it. So they have this very tentative kind of partnership where they're both keeping big secrets from each other, and they're going on this journey to this temple that's far away where like the answers are and the scroll is, even though she secretly has it. And yeah, it's like a fun, there's kind of like some road trip vibes because a lot of it is like them traveling together, and it's really fun.
Sounds
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Skyward, I just don't want to read what it's about, so I don't know what it's about.
I can say.
What is it about?
Well, I don't know that much about it, but we follow this character named Spinsa, and she lives in this place that's been under attack for like a decade, I believe.
What kind of attack?
What?
What kind of attack?
Oh, I don't know.
Like another
I thought you were just being vague. She lives on a planet that has been under constant alien attack for years.
Oh, I know aliens.
Like the fighter pilots are like really prestigious, and they're the ones who are like holding these attacks at bay. And she wants to be a pilot, but because of some of her family legacy, she's not exactly ideal in the eyes of like the pilot academy. And then she finds this like ancient warship that uniquely has a soul. So it's like this spaceship that has a soul, and she starts like using it, and I think she gets into like the pilot academy with
yes. Like what's her name? What's the droid's name that we all know and love?
Aiko.
Aiko!
Yeah, except it's like, I think it's just a ship, and I don't know if it has a personality, but we'll see.
Cool. I'm excited. Well,
we got a good lineup for the rest of our year.
Yes.
But that has been, you can wrap it up. This is your turn.
I forgot that we're on my channel. That has been the Grim Lovelies live show. We worked with HMH Teen this month. I'm Jesse.
I'm Christine.
I'm Kat.
And we're Booksplosion. We'll see you guys next month. Bye!